One day, something just clicked in my brain and it just said, Brianna, if you want more, you're going to have to do more. And it really is just that simple. If you're tired, if you're listening to this video right now and you're at the point in your life where you're tired of doing the same thing every single day and not feeling good about your life or even yourself and what you're doing, you need to make a change. And it doesn't have to be moving to another country. It can be as simple as quitting your job and deciding to do something else. You know, it could be going back to school. It can be a multitude of things, but you have to decide for yourself that you're going to make a change to do more, to get more. And that's exactly what I did. I decided that I was going to start to do things that I felt like filled my cup, things that I felt like made me really feel alive. And that is when I started to connect to Mother Nature. I started to go on I looked up hikes because that was another thing. I needed to find free things to do, things that wouldn't cost me. So I looked up hikes. It was an app called All Trails, and I looked up different hikes and hikes that had waterfalls and different views and high points and things like that. And it would be so rewarding for me because I would go into it as like, I'm going to do this, and I know that at the end I'm going to seek some kind of reward. And every time I went on a hike, I felt even more connected to Mother Nature, and I felt my spirit felt even happier because I felt like I was really doing something that I really enjoy doing. And I think that once you find something that you enjoy doing, your life will shift because it can be anything, whatever it is. You know, and that's why there's a very famous Confucius quote where he says, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And that's what leads me to moving to Jamaica. Without too much of the story, because it's a very long story, maybe for another video, my partner, he already lived in Jamaica, and we were kind of doing long distance, and it was tough. Long distance, anybody who was in a long distance relationship, you know that it can be tough and it can be a strain on your relationship. So he really just asked me, like, what about moving to Jamaica? And that was the leap of faith that I took. That was the decision that I said, okay, I'm not going to think about the what ifs or the what could happen or should happen. I'm just going to go ahead and take that step and see what happens. And that step, that one choice changed my entire life, because now I'm living a life that I feel so not only like physically connected to, I feel mentally connected to it, emotionally connected to it, and spiritually connected to it. I live on an island where I get to take walks and see fruit that I can pick off any tree, multiple trees along my walk where there's just free food. I get to wake up and hear the birds chirp. The birds wake me up pretty much every morning at 5 a.m. I get to, spend time in my garden planting my food, my food so I can eat. I can just literally go from my hands to my mouth. Like, I never really understood that farm to table concept, but it really is just as simple as it's right from your garden right to your plate, basically. It's not undergoing any type of chemicals or factories or processes. That's another thing I do not miss about America is everything just seems like it's a process. It goes through so many different things before it actually gets to you. Like, whatever happened to being more intentional, more hands-on with the things that you consume? And I think in this day in life where everything is like, social media and everything is about what you can have or what you can get instead of being content or being happy with what you have. I really think that that's how you live a more fulfilled life. In my opinion, you live a more fulfilled life when you're happy with what you have that can't just be taken away from you in any second. That's what I really feel. Because the less you have is the less responsibility you have too. I watched this video, and this woman, I know it's going to sound a little interesting, but this woman, she was talking about that if anybody, okay, she said, like, if anybody wants to give her a gift her land. And I can really relate to that, because I just feel like, land is something that you can settle on. You can do so much with a piece of land. It could be some place that you could live for the rest of your life, and you don't really need anything but that land to help you sustain life. Whereas these things that people want, like whether it's purses, jewelry, whatever you name it, all these material things, at the end of the day, they are just things. They are not going with you when you go. When you go to the next life, they're not going with you. The only thing that's going with you are your memories, your experiences, how you feel. So that's why it's important to live a life that you feel good about, that every day you wake up and you feel good about living that life. So I say that to say, if you have watched this video to the end and you're at a point in your life where you just don't know the next step to take, but you want to take another step, decide in your mind what it is that you want. And once you make that decision, just act on it. That is the quickest way to get what you want in life, is to act on whatever decision it is, to just act on whatever it is that you want. Because, and I know that is a kind of a contradiction to the law of attraction. You can attract the things that you want, just by aligning and just waiting for it to come. But when you want something specific, I think that you have to not only align yourself with it, you have to also act as if you already have whatever it is that you want. And that takes action, that takes steps, that takes doing. So do whatever it is that you want, do whatever it is that makes you happy. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if it has resonated with you, and if you enjoy slow living, intentional, simple living, I'd love for you to subscribe and join my community. I thank you so much again for watching, and I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.